and about across campus.
We're the Warwick Bulls American football team.
Your socks, your raw.
Hi, we're Warwick Folk.
We're the Good Food Society. We're Revelation Rock Gospel Choir. And you're listening to Raw.
Well, welcome to the Well, I gambled with that jingle, and me and Arthur were so surprised by it that we didn't know when it was going to end. So apologies, welcome to the Nature Hour. Come on, Arthur, introduce.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is 10 and 37 seconds.
Yeah.
A little bit more now. Welcome to the Nature Hour. My name's Arthur Daintree. His name is Luke Bantock.
Hello.
And today we have a plethora of nature-based features for you and your ears. We've got the A to Z of animals. The letter this week is R. I'll leave you guessing that one. What else have we got, Luke?
We've got some nature articles that we have trawled the internet for, and we're a collection of interesting stories for you all. What else, Arthur?
Yes, indeed, we've got that. We also have animal mating and dating advice. Mating rituals taken from the animal kingdom and applied directly to humans. What's the worst that could happen?
Lots. Very bad things. And finally, we've got Articulate, which after a year and a half of doing the show, we are planning on phoning someone up and having them play with us for once in our life.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen if we can remember how to use the phone. So stay tuned, because even if it goes wrong, it will make good radio. I mean, who doesn't want to hear two men in the morning, I say men, being quite stressed and shouty because the phones won't work. So stay tuned for that.
It's broken.
Yeah.
Which button?
I've pressed everything. Something's got to happen. All right. So if you want to get in touch with the studio, firstly, if you want us to ring you, email in the studio with your phone number, so that we can phone you up and you can play along. Or if you just want to comment on anything we say, or you want to give us some information because we haven't done our research properly, email into the studio. Go on the website, which I assume you're listening to, and click on the Contact the Studio button, or just email radio.warwick.ac.uk. Is that right?
Pass.
We probably should know that, but yeah, it's along those lines. It is radio.warwick.ac.uk.
Cool.
That's the website. I don't know what their email address is.
Just go on the contact.
Just go on the contact. Yeah, that's a lot easier. Or go on the Facebook page, which Arthur has put a hilarious picture on, which I laughed at this morning. It's The Nature Hour. So just search that on Facebook and you should be able to find it. And then comment or like or add in your own stuff on that.
Very proud of that picture.
The Angry Birds picture.
Yeah.
It is very funny. Where did you find it?
I just typed in Angry Birds.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to make a pun, and a pun was made.
And a successful pun there was.
Yes, it was. There's also that's the picture of the week. There's also excellent, it's brilliant. Excellent video of the week.
I'm sorry, I haven't watched it yet. Is it worth watching?
It's very, very good. It's so funny. Penguins are just you can't get better than penguins for comedy animals.
Truth. All right, should we start the show?
Our animals.
I've copped out, so we'll let Arthur go first.
Okay, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Was going to go with rhinoceros. They're interesting to look at. Not actually that interesting fact-wise.
Apart from they've got super cool armour.
Yeah, but what can you say about that? It's not that great.
Well, I've just said it. I've said everything there is that's got super cool armour.
And a horn.
And a horn.
Anyway, not doing rhinos. I am doing the, wait for it, rhea. R-H-E-A. Rhea.
R-H-E-A. Rhea. That'll do.
Rhea. I'm doing the rhea.
You're going to have to do quite a lot of exposition because I don't even know what that is.
The rheas are ratites, basically flightless birds. They're basically like ostriches.
Okay.
Think of an ostrich. Okay, so
right,
it is a South American ostrich thing, large flightless birds, grey-brown plumage, blah, 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 ostrich. They can reach 4.9 feet tall.
Oh, that's quite tall.
It's quite tall, not as big as an ostrich.
Where do they live?
South America.
South America.
It doesn't say exactly where, but South America. There you go. What else have they got?
All
Way
over.
up to 40 kilos.
I haven't really got a sense of how heavy that is, but I mean, it's not nothing.
Lighter than me, probably.
I don't know how much you weigh, so you must weigh more than 40 kilograms.
Ish.
I have no idea. Anyway, they weigh 40 kilograms.
Okay, and I'm on to the good stuff.
Oh, really? Was that just the filler? That was just to give you a sense of what the animal looked like.
Okay, so they look like an ostrich, and here we go. Straight from Wikipedia to your ears, their wings are large for a flightless bird and are spread while running to act like sails.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Wow. Talk to me.
Basically, I read that and thought, brilliant. So if they're running with the wind, they run faster because they've got their sails.
They get picked up.
It's so much more than that. Basically, what happens is...
What a fantastic evolution that is.
when in danger, they flee in a zigzag course.
Like a windsurfer.
Yeah. Utilising first one wing, then the other to turn them. They don't turn with their feet. They
I
turn
like to
with
think their feet
wings.
and like their hip alignment can only move in straight lines, so they haven't actually got the ability to change direction other than through sticking an arm out.
So just imagine you're running along, you want to change direction, you just stick your arm out and instantly you're pointing somewhere else.
Glorious.
That's how they roll. Also got some interesting mating habits. This can't really tie in with mating and dating, but it's interesting nonetheless. Basically, rheas are polygamous. So
Mhm.
lots of
friends.
Lots of friends. With males courting between 2 and 12 females. But it's the male that builds the nest and incubates the eggs. The females just run around creating eggs with people.
The polygamous relationship, does it mean that the females also are also polygamous? So they're not devoted to their one man under the assumption that he is faithful to them. Wait, you're nodding. I don't know what that means.
Basically, they all sleep with each other, and then the men
It's one
take
happy
care
circle.
of the eggs.
Oh, fair enough. All right,
This
let's
is
go with
quite
that.
interesting. Nest consists of a simple scrape in the ground, so they just rake the ground and then put eggs in it.
Call that a nest. Job done.
Good enough. Good enough.
I grew up in one.
Male incubates. If it was good enough for my dad, it's good enough for me. The male incubates between 10 and 60 eggs.
At one time?
At one time.
60
in
eggs?
the scrape.
Yeah. Big screen for 60 eggs.
And it says they utilise a decoy system to prevent all of the eggs getting nicked. Basically, they just put some eggs outside the nest, so those eggs get eaten first.
Gutted.
Yeah. So
What? It's not like they're fake eggs or something like that?
not real
Or
eggs.
like shattered eggs that they've like shattered the bottom half and placed. Just not really a decoy system, is it?
Just actual eggs. So they put actual eggs outside of the nest as a decoy.
I mean,
If you've got a couple of children, leave one child out in the cold to get eaten so the others are fine.
not really. Imagine if you're the animal stealing them. Oh, I've got a decoy one. Oh, what? Oh, it's just the same as all the other ones. All right, jackpot. That was
Happy with
easy.
that, yeah. And that's basically it. Males will charge any perceived threat that that approaches the chicks.
With wings out.
Wings out, obviously.
What happens if they're running into the wind? They never
Whenever the
do.
wing comes out, they spin around like a top and go in the opposite direction.
Get confused and dizzy, and then just keep running in whatever direction the wind's going.
But they're like hot air balloons in so many ways, completely reliant on the wind for navigation, and that is the rear.
Like a windsurfer, as I mentioned earlier.
A lot.
I still don't understand how they go towards the wind.
They tack, but I don't know how you.
Well, if they can tack, then rears can tack.
Presumably, that's assuming a lot.
That's assuming a lot.
They are birds, not the smartest.
They've had millions of years of evolution. They've evolved to build a nest with one scrape. Minimum effort. That is nest building refined to an art.
Not like that bowerbird. He's got no
Yeah.
clue.
What a waste of time.
Okay,
little
so
scrape.
that's rears. Some of those facts maybe
Dubious.
open to debate. It's all on Wikipedia. It has been interpreted as I choose, though.
The fountain of knowledge that is Wikipedia. Without Wikipedia, the Nature Hour would be a much less interesting show.
Yes, it would.
So thank you for that, Wikipedia. Even if your facts are false, because they make good jokes. All right, should we move on to my animal?
Yes.
It's a slight con. but
I'm
I feel
feeling conned already.
Do you feel conned for it?
A little bit.
I didn't when I wrote it at the time. I was thinking, no, this is gold. And now in hindsight, I think maybe I've done something a bit cheeky here.
Could have done a rear.
Could have done a rhea or a raptor rhinos are boring. Rattlesnake, that's just a snake. Arthur's demonstrating how a rhea would move in the studio for those watching the webcam intently. Anyway, so my animal is the red squirrel.
Boo.
Well, Arthur can boo me all I want. I think it's quite an interesting animal. Admittedly, I could have just done squirrel next week when it's S and managed to do all sorts of squirrels, but I've chosen red squirrel because it's specific. It requires attention. Okay? That's my party line and I'm sticking to it. Okay, right. So the red squirrel. When was the last time you saw a red squirrel, Arthur?
I don't think I've ever seen a red
You've
squirrel.
never seen a red squirrel?
Seen a black squirrel.
Well, that's cool. When was that? I don't know. Eastbourne. Wasn't on
In
campus, was it?
No, it was in the New Forest, I think.
Just a quick point. This is a public service announcement for any Warwick University students. If you are coming into university, there are roadworks and the queues are colossal, so don't leave too late. Just in case you needed to know that. Or there's people sat at home listening to our show before they come into university. They might be there. Anyway, so Arthur's seen a black squirrel. We used to have red squirrels at our school, so I have a slight affiliation with them.
Ooh.
Yeah, we did.
Squirrels. I thought they were all in Scotland.
Well, they were in Worcester for a brief period, and now they're all gone.
Oh.
Like the ones in that park at the top of the parade in Leamington. All grey squirrels. I don't know if there are ever red ones there, but they're all grey squirrels now. Anyway, so borrowing not all information, the typical head body length is 19 to 23 centimetres. Measure that on a 30 centimetre ruler. With a tail length of 20 centimetres, so mainly tail again. And they weigh 250 grams. So nothing. It isn't. Do you know what the phrase sexually dimorphic means?
No?
No, okay. Neither did I until I read it. Males and females are the same size. So humans are sexually dimorphic, but squirrels are not. Because men and women are different sizes.
Oh, I see.
But squirrels are not. But it's red squirrel, importantly, is somewhat smaller than the grey squirrel. Hence, we'll get on to why that's important. But they're long. They have a long tail, as I mentioned, and you know what that's used for?
Balance.
Steering.
Ooh! Like a rudder.
Like a rudder when they jump from tree to tree, and when they're running from tree to tree, jumping from tree to tree and running along branches, and also it may keep the animal warm during sleep, which is a glorious image. Tail over the head, like your own sort of duvet.
Yeah. Sort of. Huskies do that as well.
With what?
No. Was it sled dogs? Like when they go to sleep, they curl up and then they put their tail over their face.
Really? That's cool.
It is very cool.
I'd like my own pack of dogs. Arthur's. I think we might have mentioned this on the radio, so we won't tell this story again. Arthur's used to know some people who at his home used to have a sled of dogs. Anyway, they can jump from tree to tree. No, I've never seen that. Apparently they can, but they can also swim.
Ooh.
Did you know that?
Did not know that.
Neither did I. So they can jump in the water and with their tail use it as a rudder.
Do they swim like crocodiles do? And they just swish their tail and the arms stay still?
And the eyes just slightly above the water. A terrifying sight of a squirrel coming towards you. No one's made one of those ridiculous films about that yet, sadly. So they can swim. You'd have thought the tail might drag them under, but apparently not. It's one of those animals where the young are born basically useless. So the young are born helpless, blind, deaf, and weigh between 10 and 15 grams. So a packet of crisps weighs about 30 grams or 20 grams, I think. So less than that is the weight of a newborn squirrel. But it's also helpless, blind, and deaf.
Just got the like a packet of crisps.
Like a packet of crisps.
So many ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Just got the image of flicking a baby's
Yeah, you could, and it would just disappear. They grow hair by the 21st day of their birth. Their eyes and ears only open after 4 weeks.
Crumbs.
They have 4 weeks of not being able to see or hear anything, and they develop teeth by 42 days. So if you're the mother, you're doing a lot of work there, or you're just leaving them in a corner, because what else are they going to do? So yeah, they're not born very. Just trying to quickly read my article because I haven't had time to highlight it. Sorry, everyone.
Squirrels.
Solitary animal. They don't live in packs. They're shy and reluctant to share food with others, like you, Arthur.
Yeah.
Social organisation is based on dominance hierarchies within and between sexes. Although males are not necessarily dominant, the dominant animal just tends to be the larger ones. Big is best.
Might is right.
Might is right.
Them's the breaks.
They eat standard stuff like nuts and mushrooms and things like that. One hilarious thing is that excess food is put into caches, obviously. So you always have the story of a squirrel who goes to hide his stuff, either buried or in nooks or holes in trees and eaten when food is scarce.
Scarce.
Scarce. But apparently, the red squirrel's got a shocking memory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a really bad spatial memory. So it'll hide its food and go, "Oh, come back for that. That's a brilliant cache of scarce when food's scarce." And then when it comes to it, they completely forget, and many caches are never found again.
That's sad.
So if you're ever walking through a wood and you just see a little hole in a tree with some nuts buried in it, and they look quite mouldy, it's because the poor squirrel's forgotten where they are.
I always need to write these things down.
We're going to quickly mention the red squirrel, grey squirrel debate, which also feels like I should do it next week, but I'm not, so it's too late. Apparently there's only 140,000 red squirrels left, but there's loads of red squirrels everywhere else. It's only in the UK where they aren't.
Oh.
Yeah. So I always got the impression, oh my God, we're going to lose all of our red squirrels. There's loads in Europe, apparently.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So you don't need to, I mean, it's not on it's listed as least concern on the IUCN red list. I don't know what that is, but it means that no one really cares because they're not that in danger. But it's the grey squirrels in England that, I mean, they're being cut out. Do you want to know why that is, Arthur?
Yes.
Good. It's for a number of reasons. Grey squirrels are bigger, obviously, and they can outcompete squirrels for various reasons. The eastern grey squirrel can easily digest acorns, which the squirrel can't. Red squirrel can't. Grey squirrel carries a disease. I'm not going to tell you the name because it's not interesting, but it doesn't affect the grey squirrel, but does kill the red squirrel off, which is one of the reasons for the decline. And when the red squirrel is put under pressure, when it's stressed, it doesn't breed very much. It doesn't like it when it's stressed.
That's same can be said for anyone.
Exactly. So that's some of the reasons. But the grey squirrel and the red squirrel aren't directly antagonistic. They don't fight each other, and the grey squirrel doesn't kill each other, which I always thought they did. They just out-competed. They're just a better animal, really. Better is a subjective term, but that's why they're more. That's why they've been more successful. And a last point: squirrels in Norse mythology. Norse mythology. I know we like our Norse mythology on the Nature Hour. So Ratatosk is a red squirrel who runs up and down with messages in the world tree Yggdrasil, nice, and spreads gossip.
Huh?
In particular, he ferried insults between the eagle Verolfilnor at the top of how do you say that? The world tree Yggdrasil, and the dragon Nihor beneath its roots.
Those squirrels.
Flipping gossipers. Always telling Nihor what I said. And that's about it for my...
Great.
That's about it for my squirrel.
Squirrels.
Ending on Norse mythology.
Gossips. There's also such thing as black squirrels, which look the same as red squirrels, but are black. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Arthur.
Enjoy that fact.
That's an absolute belter.
Also, red squirrels have tufts on their ears like that.
If you can't see, Arthur has put his arms up in the air like ears.
Yes. And grey squirrels don't have the big ears with a tuft.
No, they don't. I was going to mention that, but I didn't think it was interesting. But thank you, Arthur, for bringing it up. Should we play a song?
Yes. That was loud. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
We've been talking for ages.
We haven't. It's only 19 minutes past 10.
Oh.
Just feels like ages, Arthur. Sorry. Okay, so we'll play... What do you want, Arthur? Do you want Elbow or Paul Simon?
Ooh. Start off with the big hitters. Let's play Paul Simon.
Right, we're going to play Paul Simon, You Can Call Me Al. And then when we'll come back, we'll have some nature articles. All right? Okay, enjoy this.
Warwick.ac.uk/listen. This is Raw.
Bill Oddie got into a knife fight. The knife lost.
Welcome back to the Nature Hour. The ridiculous oddity about Oddie there.
It's all true.
There were two in there. I hope you heard the one in the middle. Anyway, welcome back to the show. We're on to our next feature, Animal Articles. If you like what we're talking about or you want to comment on what we're talking about, email into the studio, radio.warwick.ac.uk, or go to the website, which is that same website, and just click the Contact the Studio button, or go on the Facebook page of the Nature Hour and comment on that. Should we go on to the next feature, Arthur? Do you want to go first or shall I?
You go first.
I'll go first. I went first last time. Very well. All right. I don't think mine's going to be as fun as yours, but it'll be more factually interesting. This is from the Discovery Channel website, and they've observed some rats. Well, the opening line's a bit weird. There are some noxious colognes out there, Arthur, you'd know. Mm-hmm. But what the African crested rat dabs on itself can literally kill you. Or
crumbs.
So what this African crested rat does, from now on it would just be called the rat, it paints its pelt with poisonous tree bark, which puts it in a very interesting category of the only two mammals known to use poison they didn't produce themselves. Guess which the other one is?
Echidna.
No.
Damn it.
Come on.
Platypus.
No.
Seal.
No. They all produce their own.
Elephant.
Those don't have any.
They all produce their own.
Platypus produces their own. Shall I tell you?
Eagle.
No.
Not a mammal.
Shall I tell you?
Yes.
Human. Oh! Trick question.
It's not a trick question.
It is.
Why?
Because why didn't you get it then?
Because I didn't think of humans immediately.
Because you don't immediately think there was mammals. Trick question. Oh. All right. Anyway, so yeah, only two. The rats use the bark of the Acocanthera tree and then slathers toxic slobber onto its fur, which is a glorious image for what is 10:25 in the morning. But the gist is, you get the gist. Dr. Tim O'Brien, senior scientist of the Wildlife Conservation Society, said the African crested rat is a fascinating example of how a species can evolve a unique set of defences in response to pressures from predators. It's always interesting. Other mammals such as the platypus and some shrews, as you say, are venomous, meaning they produce a toxin internally and then put that toxin into another, it says critter in the article, I'm going to say animal, by biting, stinging, or some other devious ways. But the crested rat and humans, the only two animals who use plants to make their poisons. They're using the same toxin that humans used, I don't know, to tip poison arrows. You nod that like, yeah, I knew that.
Been there, done
Been
that.
there. Made some poison-tipped arrows. I don't think you have. But, okay.
The rats saw us do it and were like,
oh, that's a great idea. They got shot by one. And they thought, that wouldn't normally kill me, that arrow. There must be some poison on it. Let's follow them and what? They didn't do that. I mean, that's completely ridiculous. So, these rats have tubular hairs, which have many tiny holes which soak up the deadly saliva and keep the poison in place. The researchers don't yet know how the rat manages such long-term and high-dosage exposure to the poison. It's quite ironic because the poison that everyone talks about most is rat poison. And then the rats have turned it around and used it on themselves. Sort of. Put it on themselves. But yeah. So that's the... I had some other point to make. What was it, Arthur? Something about rats and poison. It's one of those strange evolutions that... It's a sort of self-sacrificing one, so they all do it. Some of them have got to be eaten for the point to get across that you don't eat that rat because you're going to get poisoned.
Sensible. There are enough rats out there for it to work.
But it requires some sort of coordination that I don't think rats have got.
The greater good.
The greater good. You didn't know they were so into utilitarianism. But also, they've started looking like a skunk. They've got a similar coloration because of the skunk-like... Research suspected the rats had a toxic defence system because of the skunk-like coloration on its hind quarters, which suggests that they might have copied the skunk.
Well, maybe.
I suppose so. They could have done. They'd heard the stories of dogs getting sick or even dying after going toe-to-toe with a rat, but they didn't know how it got its deadly defence. You think that the rat also died in a fight with a dog, though?
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, the dog's got that.
Probably 10 times out of 10, to be honest. It's not often.
The rat's covered himself in poison.
Taking both of us down. He might eat me, but I'm taking you down as well. What a glorious self-defense mechanism. So there we go. The African crested rat, don't eat them unless you wash it or boil it for 10 minutes first. Which I know you would.
Sensible listeners of the Nature Hour.
Yeah, they know how to keep themselves safe. Right. Arthur, do you want to do your article?
You all done?
Yep.
All right. Okay, my article is titled... Get in a better position. Male mollyfish in Mexico. Bit of alliteration.
Alliteration,
Yeah.
nice. What's this from?
BBC.
BBC.
From the BBC website. Wear a moustache that makes them appear more sexy to females.
Glorious.
Oh!
Yes.
So there's some pre-animal mating and
Yeah,
dating
that's
advice.
just to warm you up.
Get a moustache.
Yeah.
Movember's coming up. I want
It
to
is.
see some moustaches.
Tell me again what animal it is.
The male mollyfish in Mexico.
Is it a fish? Is it just...
Mollyfish.
You never know. It might have one of those ridiculous names where it's not. It's called a fish because it's not a fish.
It's a fish.
Anyway,
it's a
it's a
mollyfish
Okay.
in
talk to me.
Mexico, wearing a moustache in Movember. Okay, basically, scientists were unsure while male mollies wear an extravagant moustache-like structure on their top lip. Say
Structure.
extravagant. So it's not just a normal scrappy moustache,
Yeah.
it's like a
One of those
curly one.
French ones that goes loops round.
So they've got these glorious loopy moustaches, and scientists don't know what it's all about, and no one's studied or described this structure in detail until now.
Till the Nature Hour.
Until the Nature Hour. Not strictly true. Basically, what they did is they found these male fish with moustaches, and then they compared these moustaches, so arranged them from biggest to smallest, and then put them in a fish tank with a female mollyfish, and measured the amount of time that the female spent with the male. And
Okay.
and they found on experiments involving over 100 fish, females consistently preferred males with moustaches, especially big ones. Yeah.
Does that not just imply that the bigger fish had a bigger moustache and then that was more?
No, it doesn't say that the biggest fish have the biggest
Oh, that's true.
moustaches.
Small man syndrome. Grow a massive moustache to make up for your lack of fishness. Possibly.
So basically, there's an awful lot. There's all about rubbing moustaches against genitals for male mollies to advertise his attractiveness. But we don't need to.
We could just pretend that if they're sat in a bar, a fishy bar, an underwater bar, and there's a big line of men, and one of them's got a fantastic moustache, and the other ones haven't, and the female goes straight for the man with the glorious full moustache, which I think possibly might relate to the real world.
He's sitting at the bar just having his drink, and she just brushes past him, and he's like, "Oh, moustache."
Yeah, whilst twirling his moustache. Where's the gelled moustache gone?
I don't know, Lee.
I don't think it was ever cool.
It was always cool.
Was it?
Well,
Grow one.
if I could, and I wouldn't get crucified for having a stupid moustache,
Who cares?
then I would.
Think about how much the mollyfish ladies would love it. You
I'm
could
all about the
you could dunk
mollyfish.
your head in a like, pool of water, and they love you down there. You'd be like a god.
Come at me, ladies. My moustache is bigger than you. Woo.
Yeah. We should have kept that article for mating and dating tips. That's a classic tip.
Grow a moustache.
Grow a moustache.
The bigger the better.
That applies to women as well.
It
The
does.
bigger the better.
Yeah. And if you can cultivate a handlebar
Yeah.
moustache,
Do it,
just do it.
because that would be fantastic.
Mutton chops.
Yeah, but they're not even cool on men.
No, that's
I
true.
mean, the mollyfish definitely wouldn't like a pair of mutton chops, would she?
Unless they're combined.
Yeah, unless
into
it's a big one.
moustache.
But then that's just a moustache that runs to your hairline. That's even cooler. Wonder where she stands on beards. Anyway,
What, the
we're getting off.
mollyfish?
Yeah, whether a full Gandalf beard would be just as impressive,
As long as it starts off
Yeah.
underneath the nose.
then it's still technically just one massive moustache.
Indeed.
We've got off topic. We've got a little bit of time left before our next feature, so I'm just going to quickly mention an article which we didn't do because it's so sad, but is also very interesting. and you might have seen it on the BBC website, and it's of a bunch of animals in a private zoo being not released, but escaping, and then all having to be shot because they couldn't tranquilise them all. Arthur, you're not...
Apparently they were released.
Released by the bloke?
Yeah, they found all of the cages had been opened.
Oh, well, I didn't want to say that in case it was false, but I read that as well. And then the bloke, the guy in charge, went on to kill himself, which is even sadder. So it's a very sad story. But if you want to read about it, it's on the BBC News website, and it just gets worse and worse, because it's not like a rubbish English zoo where it's just some dogs and some cats and a rat. It's like it's lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, running wild in Zanesville. Someone, Mr. Hanna, said the scope of the event was immense. This is like Noah's Ark wrecking here in Zanesville, which is where it was. Zanesville is where it was. Noah's Ark. So yeah, read about it, because we tend to make fun of the articles we read, and I don't really want to make fun of it. Although there was, apparently, when I read it last night, there was a headline that just said wolf, monkey, still at large. So there's still a wolf and a monkey. The Odd Couple, classic film material. A wolf and a monkey joining forces to try and escape.
Monkey sitting on the wolf, giving him directions.
Yeah, wolf going flat out, getting anyone who stands in the way. So there we go. That's the article about sad story in Canada. Was it Canada or was it America, Arthur?
I think it was America.
Was it America? Ohio. Yeah, America. All right.
Which does mean that there is still one horrific event sort of on the cards for Canada.
Yeah, that's
as per
true.
tradition.
They've got to have some crazy event happen. That's sad to hear. On that lovely thought, we're going to play... what are we playing?
Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
Journey, Don't Stop Believing, I believe, for Arthur. So when we come back, we'll have more mating and dating tips from the animal...
12:51 a.m.
12:51 a.m.
12:51 a.m.
I love Raw.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Right, we've got one more feature. Mating and dating. Ooh, steady. Mating and dating tips from the animal kingdom, and then we will play a song, and then hopefully, we'll get someone on the phone to play Nature Articulate. Oh,
it's
yeah.
happening.
Well, we'll see. We'll get your hopes up, but listen in anyway.
But in the meantime,
Arthur,
please contact the studio.
Please contact the studio, please. We begged last week for emails, and it worked because we got 2. So if you are listening, just even if you don't like the show, just say I'm listening. I'm on board. I love the Nature Hour. What? I mean, you don't have to say that, but we would love it if you did.
Just email in a word.
Yeah.
Preferably an interesting
frog.
one. Hats.
Cats.
Moustaches. Extravagant moustaches. 2 words.
Yeah. So please contact the studio. Go onto the website, radio.org.acti.uk. Click on the contact the studio button, or on the Facebook page. Maybe we'll go back on the Facebook page. It'll be full with comments and likes and pictures and things. Hopefully that'll be the case, and I trust all the listeners will go and do that right now.
It's time for mating and dating advice.
It's time for mating and dating advice.
Should we put on the mating and dating song?
All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Do you want to go first, Arthur, or shall I? Or do you want to just enjoy the music?
I'll enjoy the music.
Okay. No, wait. Is yours... It's your... Right. Is yours how to attract a mate, or is yours what to do once you've attracted a mate?
Once you've attracted.
Okay, I'll start, because mine's how to attract a mate. Marvellous. Mine is about the male Tungara frogs, which woo females with calls that sound like the backbeat to at least one 70s disco song. It doesn't, but they'd like to put that into. Arthur, stop dancing along to the song and listen to what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
Okay. Despite the male's impressive singing, female frogs often force them to be quiet and mate before the songs are even through. So the frog will be singing, and then halfway through she'll get annoyed and make him stop.
La 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 la.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But it's not solely because she doesn't like it. It's also because bats are listening and waiting to eat the frogs. So this stupid male frog is singing really loudly in what is described as a whine, followed by a series of grunts or chucks, which is them singing. And then singing really loudly to this, he's serenading her, whilst these bats are swooping around above him, like a radar, ready to swoop down and eat them. They discovered that female frogs who love them, as well as the bats who eat the frogs, only listen to the males for so long. Then they make their move, even if the males aren't finished singing yet, which must hurt.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. They're forced to choose their mates based on their vocal skills very quickly. So they'll have, if there's a choice of two, they'll always choose the one that... I don't know. Well, there's a stupid experiment. That's not very interesting. They just have to choose them really quick, because if they don't, then they both get eaten by a bat.
Can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that.
He just wants to keep singing. La 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 la, I love you, la la la.
Well, no, Arthur, it actually sounds like this. Whine, grunt, chuck.
Chuck. Chuck.
I listened to it. It doesn't sound anything like a music song. Like it was. It doesn't sound like someone disc scratching either. Both female Tungara frogs and the bats therefore limit the length of male mating calls for this species, preventing the songs becoming too elaborate over time. So they never really get to practice their full range as they'd like to, because they'd either get eaten or pounced on by a female. One of them is alright, one of them's not so much. This is similar. This pressure must limit vocalizing in other animals. The ultimate shut up is to eat the singer. Which is true. So if we want to apply this to the real world, go to a rough area at night. Go outside your prospective partner's window.
Sing this song. Turn it up, Luke.
Sing this song. Really loudly. And either you'll get eaten, / beaten up, or the plan has worked. Successfully worked.
Nothing else will happen.
No, there are only two outcomes there. So
Can't argue with that.
You can't argue with that as advice.
And
so now you've successfully found a mate. Arthur, what do you do once you're there?
Once you've successfully found your mate. Alright, okay. Ooh, crumbs.
Start again.
Ooh, very nice. Okay. Oh. Okay. So you're in the bedroom. Getting a bit freaky.
Oh my god.
And suddenly, you're a flatworm, and you find out you're both hermaphrodites. Oh, crumbs.
That's awkward.
Awkward. Who you need to establish?
Who's who?
You need to establish who provides the DNA, and who receives the DNA.
Said DNA.
Yes.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Close.
Close. Wait. Carry on.
Okay, so you gotta decide. Rock, paper, scissors off the card. It's not sexy.
This is like Business Time by Flight of the Conchords. We'll play that next week. Anyway.
So you gotta decide. Rock, paper, scissors off the card's not sexy enough. So what do you do? If you're a flatworm, you penis fence.
That's right.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen and hermaphrodites, who this applies to. Basically what happens is the male flatworm has each
Marvin
flatworm...
Gaye makes this feature so much funnier.
Yes, he does.
Keep going.
Male flatworms have two dagger-like penises that they use to hunt as well as mate. They've got two, and they're dagger-like.
And they hunt with them.
Yes, they do.
God,
so
we are unevolved compared to some animals.
We so are. So you get your dagger-like penises, and you use them to penis fence. And you got to avoid getting stabbed while stabbing.
And that's not a pun. You will get stabbed. You will get cut.
Stabbing. And basically what happens is if you get stabbed, then you absorb all the DNA through your skin and scoot off to bear the burden of motherhood.
That's not that sexy.
Not
but
sexy.
There's a hint for you all.
If you can't decide who's in charge, penis fence. Got another one.
Wait, what time is it? We haven't got time for another one.
Very quickly.
No, save it for next week.
This is gold, Luke.
Is it?
Yes.
Exactly, save it for next week. It'll
Very
get
well,
the full
save it for
exposition.
Oh.
Alright, so
Save it for
we're going
next
to play Elbow, Loneliness of a Tower Crane Driver. I don't know if it's any good. Blame Arthur if it's not. And then when we come back, we'll have someone on the phone to play Nature Articulate with, hopefully. Okay? So, Arthur, the song's going to have to turn off now, I'm afraid.
Oh.
So we'll be back in a bit.
Bye.
Email your requests. studios@radio.warwick.ac.uk.
I love Raw.
Bill Oddie has a grizzly bear carpet in his room. The bear isn't dead. It's just afraid to move.
Right, welcome back to the show. I don't know what's going to happen here because we've got someone on the phone. Whether you can hear them or whether we can hear them or whether we're gonna bring Vega in, who's my sister. Vega, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We're on. We've made it work at last.
It works!
Arthur, don't shout too loud
I'm
because
excited.
we had some problems because we rang the switchboard accidentally and the phones didn't work. And then we only managed to get it work after 30 seconds. So, but we've got someone. Vega, say hello.
Hello.
So Vega's my sister. She's at home in Worcester. So you've never played Articulate before, have you, Vega?
No.
You haven't? Okay, right. So the basic gist of it is, Articulate is a game where there's a bunch of categories on a card, and we have to try and get you to guess what's on the card without saying the word.
Okay.
Okay, it's quite simple,
Okay.
but there's one specific nature category, obviously specific to our show. So what we're going to do is me and Arthur will take turns
Oh, excellent.
over a 1 minute to get you to guess as many Articulate words as we can.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, for example, this is just a practice. I'm going to do one now. So, it's a vegetable. It can be quite spicy. It's small and it's red.
Chili.
No. Round. Put it in salads. Tastes horrible.
Spicy.
A little bit spicy.
Radish.
Yes. There we go.
Pink.
That's pink, whatever. Let's not get into this on air. So, that's how it's going to go down, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay,
What
and
if
then
I win?
you won't win because no one's done it before.
Oh.
You'll be at the top of the leaderboard.
You'll win immediately, but that's by default. Well,
Oh, no.
by the end of
So
the
it's
year.
going to be like a league table.
Yeah,
No, because we've got our scores. I got a mighty 10.
but we literally do it every week, so I don't think we can be on it. We'll do it at the end of the year. All right,
do an all-stars game.
and we'll get the big names in who've done at the top of the table. All right, okay. So Vega, are you ready? We'll give you a minute in 10 seconds. Then you'll have as many as you can. Arthur, do you want to do the clue first?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we've got 5 seconds. I really hope people at home can
4,
hear this. All this
3,
talking.
2, 1. Come on! Okay, it's a big animal, lives in the sea, tentacles, like an octopus, but not an octopus.
Squid.
It is. Yes, squid.
Oh, good shout. I was not getting that.
Come on,
When
Luke.
you heat water up and it goes away, it does what?
Evaporate.
Yes.
They're a four-legged animal with horns. Lions chase them. They can run really fast. Got
Antelope.
hooves. Close.
Deer.
Close. In Africa.
Stag.
In Africa.
I don't know what this
Gazelle.
is. Gazelle. Oh,
Gazelle.
I don't know if they've got horns.
They do
It's a
have
big
horns.
vegetable. It's big and long.
Leek.
In your bone, you have some sort of liquid and it's horrible.
Marrow.
Yes.
Good shout. Okay, it looks like broccoli, but it's white.
Cauliflower.
Yes.
Lions, something, and bears, oh my. What's this?
Tigers?
Yes.
like a penguin, but doesn't swim. A little bird. With an
Puffin.
orange beak. Puffin, you say? Yes.
When it's cold at winter, it does some at Christmas. Oh, that's
Snow.
time. Oh yeah, it was snowdrop though. That was pretty good for the
Snowdrop.
first ever one.
How many have we got? I've got 3 here.
We had evaporate, tiger, marrow, 3.
So
Stickleback and radish. I abandoned Stickleback because I don't know where to go with that.
6. So top of the leaderboard.
6 with a mighty 6, one every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Right, Vega,
That's
thank
pretty
you.
good because that's all you can ever get.
No, we got 10 last week.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're playing with the big
you-
boys now.
Oh.
Have you been listening to the show?
Listening now.
You've literally been at home doing nothing and you haven't been listening to the show.
I was worried that I'd hear myself on the radio and I didn't want to.
That's a bit weird, but okay. Well, thank you very much for answering your phone, and I hope you enjoyed your Articulate. If you're still on top by the end of next week, then not the end of next week, by the end of the show run, we'll get you back on and we'll have an hour-long Articulate Fest.
Okay.
All right?
I look forward to that.
Yeah, good. You do that. All right, I'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
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 That was fantastic.
How do we turn the phone off? Oh, like that.
Who knows? I've just pressed all the buttons to turn the phones off. They might still be online. But so that was Nature Articulate. 1 year and a half after promising phones. We're in.
Yes.
Yes.
Get that finger
You
out.
might not share our relation at this. This is a mighty day in the history of the Nature Hour. And we left ourselves with so little time that we've just got to play a song. And I haven't got a song. Arthur, just talk.
Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the show. As we've been saying throughout, if you enjoyed anything that you've heard, or ever want to get in contact with us, share something interesting, then contact us on our Facebook page. Just search The Nature Hour on Facebook, and like our Facebook page. Comment, look at all the videos and pictures of the week that we've had previously. We got some excellent ones. Some of them may have been repeated, not sure.
Almost definitely.
Maybe, we don't know. I can't be bothered to check. But yeah, so contact us on that Facebook page. I think we've got a heroic 12 likes.
Yeah. So bump that up if you can.
Get up to the magic 13. Unlucky for some. Luke's still searching for a song.
No, I'm ready.
Oh, you
I'm
got
ready.
a song?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Good
Well,
to go.
thanks very much for listening.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah, 10 o'clock on Friday.